what's going on? It's Tuba Billy here, and I saw an article. I haven't got to read it all yet, but the headline says that Biden personally approved the FBI raid on Donald Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. Now, that may not seem like a big deal, because, the President of the United States should know what's going on with the FBI. However, the big deal and the big issue for me, aside from, targeting a political rival, is the fact that the day it happened, Biden completely denied any knowledge of what was going on. We had nothing to do with it, he said. No knowledge. And yet he approved it, he sanctioned it, he told them, go do it. Wow. Just another in a long line of examples and proof that this man is unfit to be president. He lies. Every single thing he says is an outright lie. It's so bad to the point where even if he says the truth, it's like, well, is that the truth? If he says the truth, I don't know. If he said the sky was blue, I'd begin to wonder. It's like, well, I don't know. Is it blue? Well, right now, I don't know. It's just that bad. I've said this before. They lied about the dogs. If they're gonna lie about how many Secret Service agents that his dogs have bitten in the White House, don't you think they're gonna lie about the bigger stuff too? Like, I don't know, Afghanistan. How many lies were told about that? How many lies were told about COVID? How many lies were told about the economy? How many lies were told about inflation? How many lies constantly? It's despicable. The fact that we have a president who was allegedly elected, and the most popular president in American history, allegedly, saying lie after lie after lie, that's verifiable lies. Now, we all know that, politicians lie, right? That's kind of a joke. How do you know a politician's lying? Well, his mouth's moving. But this gives it a whole new level. I think it's one thing to make a promise, on the campaign trail. Yes, I'm going to do this. Kind of like Biden said, we're going to cure cancer. Well, you're about 3 years in now. Have we had a cure for cancer yet? Yeah, no. Campaign promises are one thing, but when you are accused of something like pushing for a raid on the former president and your main political rival, when you say you had nothing to do with it and it turns out that you did, that's a new level for me personally. At what point are we a banana republic? I know both sides use that term a lot. I think we're there. You've got elected officials have a different set of rules. They could do things that average citizens can't. In fact, elected officials on one side of the aisle get punished for what the other side does on the regular basis. There's no oversight. There's no checks and balances anymore. It's all corrupt. And this buffoon in chief is doing nothing but making it worse. He's increasing the division and the polarization of Americans. He's increasing hate. He is feeding in to all these lies that these activists are saying. He's feeding into the violence that is happening and that's going to be happening more. I mean, look no farther than you know, a bunch of Christians get shot up by a trans activist in Nashville, and then literally right after it, you have Kamala Harris saying that the trans community is under attack, and Biden saying that the trans community is the soul of America. Wow. You know, Kamala Harris goes to Nashville and visits with the Democratic officials that were ousted because they participated in an unsanctioned riot protest inside the Capitol. How's that not an insurrection? She visited them, but not the families that lost loved ones, because it doesn't fit the narrative, right? The shooter was trans, and so so in the media they try to make the shooter into the victim, right? It's like, oh, the shooter was, you know, mistakenly misgendered by the police. Big whoop! She was an evil person, pretending to be a man, but still evil. She broke into the school that she knew had the least amount of security, the least amount of resistance, so that she would kill as many people as possible. Kids. Evil. And you try to make her into the victim? Don't even. Don't even. And you've got families that are suffering, that are in pain because of this. And then you've got, I saw another TikTok, or not on TikTok, but the Hodge twins shared it. This girl saying, is like, well, don't you think that if the government wouldn't have passed these, you know, anti-trans laws, that your kids might still be alive? You know, I'd be pretty upset with the government. Are you freaking kidding me? So it's the government's fault that a radical trans activist with mental issues walks into the school and shoots kids? Huh? Yeah, no. Not at all. And the Hodgewoods pointed out that not only had that video been deleted, but her entire page was gone, which is great. She deleted it. My gosh. How evil have people gotten? They've gotten complicit with evil. They've gotten to where they celebrate it. Where evil is called good and good is called evil. Oh, man. And we got the head of our nation is feeding right into all of that evilness. It's feeding it, encouraging it, egging it on. Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed. Our nation is doomed. And I'm beginning to think that we're at the point of no return because of how corrupt the entire system is. I'm almost to the point where we're just saying, hey, let's just watch it all burn down and then we'll start again. Those of us who, with some sanity, with some common sense, and with a love for the actual Constitution and America, will rebuild it the way it should have been. You know, if they want a civil war, bring it. You know, I don't think a civil war will be, you know, fought with guns and weapons anymore. It's going to be, you know, ideas, insults, punches and kicks on social media. That's where the shots will be fired. It'll be a verbal civil war. At least that's just my thought, because there's no dividing line. Like with, you know, the American Civil War, there's the North versus the South. There's the line, right? The Mason-Dixon line. Here, gosh, I guess it can kind of be divided into, you know, the country versus the cities. But even then, I mean, you could have, anywhere you live, you could have, you know, liberal or conservative neighbors, staunch either direction, and not really, there's no way to divide it. Some people have talked about a national divorce, where we just go independent states. Well, what do you do then? How does that work? How can, you know, how can someone who gets stuck in the wrong state, how can they get out? Something's got to change, though, or this nation will tear itself apart. We're getting weaker by the day. Our enemies are getting stronger. And pretty soon, I mean, I don't know, maybe the movie Red Dawn, that's going to be reality. Who knows? All I know is they're going to have a hard time in the South, because here in the South, we love our God and we love our guns. And we love our kids too, and we will fight to the death to protect all of them. Oh man, just keep, I mean, live your life. Raise your kids as best you can. Don't let anyone else raise them for you. Protect them. Protect what you hold dear and what you value. Because everything that conservatives hold dear and everything conservatives and Christians value, the left is coming to destroy. Everything. And they won't stop until everything is destroyed or they're defeated. I hope it's the latter. Be excellent to each other. Tuba Billy signing out. God be with you till we meet again.